Today is Wednesday, the 12th of September, and you are watching an Excel overview in order to prepare for Data Day on September 17th. So the first thing we need to do is find Excel. You can do that by going down to the Start button, clicking on it, All Programs, Microsoft Office, and then Microsoft Office Excel. Once Excel is open, let's go ahead and save our file. Go up to the Office icon and click on it. Go to Save As, and then we're saving the Excel workbook. Go ahead and wherever you're saving it, be it the desktop or if you have a flash drive, if you're on your school computer, you can save it to your lesson plans folder. And if you have designated folders within your lesson plan folders, you can save it in there. Once your file has been saved, you'll see that the name has changed. And you will use the handout that I gave you to input the information. So we're going to work within the cells, and these are the cells. In cell A1, you're going to type ID number. Cell B1, grade level. Cell C1, cell D1, and cell E1. Alright, now you're going to go to A2 and begin inputting the ID number, the grade level, the names, and whether the form was completed or not. Once you have put in all that information, we're going to go ahead and look at how to adjust the cells. So you'll see here that it's cut off. When you go to the top of the column and you roll over, you get the cross. Just pull the cross over, or the T, until you have given it enough space, and you can do that for every column. On some of the columns, I want to wrap the text, so I'm going to highlight that information. Go to Alignment and click Wrap Text. The other way, which is even simpler, is to highlight the column or columns that you want to wrap, and up on the Home tab you'll see Wrap Text. Just click it and it wraps it for you. Oh, I want to center my information, so I'm just going to highlight those columns. On the Home tab, hit the center. I like for my titles to be bold, so just like in Word, you highlight what you want and then bold it. Let's look at adding borders around the cells. So one way we're going to do is we're going to highlight the cells that we want to have a border, and then right click, Format Cells, select the style that you want to use, do an outline border as well as an inline border, and click OK. Another way to do it is to use the button that is on the font section of the Home tab. You can actually customize how you want the border by selecting Draw Border, and you can do this all the way through, and that will help you identify exactly where you want your border to be. If you make a mistake with the border, you can select that same button and go to Erase Border and click on the place you want to erase, and that will get rid of it. And I like to make sure I have a border on all sides. Actually select specifically those cells, go back to that button, and then do Left Border, and now it's placed a border on the left as well. I also want to change my font, so I'm going to select those cells, and just like in Word, you go up to the font and select the font of your choice. If you want to make it larger, you can do so. Right now, the grid lines on Excel are visible. If you go up to the View tab and you uncheck it, the grid lines are no longer visible. If you come into Excel and you don't see them, all you need to do is go to View and Grid Lines, and then they're back. Now let's look at sorting the information. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sort by last name. So select column D. On the Home tab, we're going to go up to Sort and Filter, and we want to sort A to Z. It will ask you, do you want to expand the selection? If you don't expand the selection and you continue with the current, then you're only going to be making changes within that column. However, if you expand the selection, everything that's in that row also moves with it. So you want to expand the selection and click Sort. And now all the information has been moved according to alphabetical order. Now that I have my master list in order, I want to go ahead and name it. So this is my sheet 1, worksheet 1. So I'm going to right click down here at the bottom and rename, and I'm going to call it master list. And I'm going to be making a list for each of my grade levels. So if I go to sheet 2, rename, 6th grade list. Sheet 3, rename, 7th grade list. And insert a new worksheet, 8th grade list. Okay, let's look at another way to sort. So I want to sort by grade level. I go to column B. I'm going to go to Data, Sort, and again, I do want to expand the selection and sort. And this time I'm going to be able to identify specifically that I want to sort by grade level, and it goes smallest to largest. Click OK. And now it's got the students listed according to their grade level. I want to put my header on each of my grade lists, so I'm just going to highlight that section. Control C to copy, and then go to each grade list and Control V to paste. And you'll notice that you'll have to tweak the columns in order to get it adjusted back to how it was originally. Once you've copied the title and pasted it in each of the grade list, go back to the master list, and you simply need to highlight the information pertaining to that grade only, and you can right click to copy and then go to that grade list and right click paste. Once you're finished taking the information from the master list and pasting it on the grade specific list, then let's go back to the master list, and we're going to sort by student last name again. However, rather than clicking the sort button, we're going to do the AZ down arrow button. And again, you do want to expand the selection. You sort, and you're back in order according to last name. The final thing I'm going to show you is how to graph data. The main thing you need to do is tell Excel where to look for what information. So I'm going to use the yes, no, and the forms completed, and I'm going to determine the total number of forms submitted, and then we'll do a box for total forms still due. In order for Excel to create a graph, you have to tell it exactly what information should be included in that graph, and it has to be included in a succinct format so that it can more easily identify it. So in cell E17, we're going to tell it what's in this cell is equal to the count if, parentheses, so it's counting everything between E2 colon to E16, comma, quote, yes, quote, in parentheses, enter. And you'll do the same thing for the no, but this time you're telling it to look for the no's. So what's in E18 is equal to count if, so if it's between E2 and E2 colon to E16 and it's a N, then it's going to count the no's. Now, very simply, you want to create a graph with that information. So you want to highlight total forms submitted, 8, and total forms still due, 7. You're going to go up to Insert, and we want to insert a pie chart. Select pie chart, move it. Once you create the graph, you can actually add some specifics to it by going to the Layout tab. And if you select Chart Title, you can center Overlay Title or Above Chart. And then you just same process, type in. If you want to modify that font, you just go to Home, change the font. If you want to make it larger or smaller, you can do so right there. If you want to give it color. And then on the actual chart, go to Data Labels, and if you wanted to include that information, you can center it. If you go to Home, again, you can change the font, make it larger, and give it color. You can do the same thing with the legend. And once you're done, you've got a graph showing all the information, and that is basic Excel.